This episode of Another Great Day is brought to you by Conch Shells. Podcast assemble. It's Friday, October 13th, 2023. I'm Aaron, and Chris is, well, if you've been listening, you know Chris is lost somewhere out there in the wilderness under the statue of a person. But luckily, it seems like, well, it's right on time. Here comes a large toucan. Okay. It's landed on my shoulder, and it has a letter in its mouth. Let's see what it said. Did I say a toucan? I meant an inanimate spring just fell from the sky with a letter taped to it. This is amazing. Off you go, toucan. Flap, 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 flap. Okay, let's go check out what this spring has, because this other letter was just junk mail asking me to go to the store.
Dear Aaron, I hope this letter finds you well, for I have an astonishing tale to share with you. It began in a secret cave deep within a labyrinthian network of tunnels. I found myself lost in darkness, but fortune smiled upon me in the form of a peculiar cave-dwelling companion, a Muppet named Gregory.
Yeah, so a lot of people fall down here. You'll notice this is kind of our wall of people who have fallen. You're like the 40th person. It's so strange. I mean, how do these people fall in here? Anyways, over there's the seesaw. You can get on that if you're getting bored, but you hit your head on the cave wall. It'll hurt you. I'm in the ceiling. And then we keep some board games over there. Candyland. I'm kind of the king. Don't try to challenge me. See those wall of people we just looked at? They all lost. So anyways, I'll keep showing you around. Come on, buddy.
As we ventured forth from the Sam Houston Monument toward Dallas, Gregory decided that he would help me home, and he helped me climb out from underground, and his reaction to the world was quite odd.
Now, Chris, I brought you up here because, first of all, you're making a mess. You're too big for the cave, and I'm not saying I'm complaining, but people are talking, okay, and it's getting awkward. I need you to make sure that, you don't fall back down here again. We're happy to have you, but it's time to go. Wow. You look around. You see this ocean in the air? Yeah, that's called a sky, I think. And we've been living under a guy this whole time. This is amazing. The cave doesn't have any features like this. Are you going to be okay? Do you need me to help you? I know you're new to all this.
I think it'll be all right. But I'm a little. As we stood underneath the Sam Houston Monument, we got in the vehicle and drove and stopped at the Buc-ee's, which was a very new experience for Gregory.
Wow, look at this. There's like 1,000,000 of these metal horses with these wheel thingies on them. This is crazy. Oh, we should go inside. There's candy, there's root beer, beef jerky, and look at all these toilets. It's so clean. I've never seen it so. The cave doesn't look like this. I gotta bring Marv up here to show him. This is how you clean the toilet.
Gregory's bewilderment at the world was exciting. As we traveled into Dallas, all the way to the studio, I invited Gregory in to meet Aaron. Gregory, would you like to meet Aaron, my co-host of the podcast? Oh, Gregory, you're asleep. Well,
me.
Our journey became a tapestry of exploration, challenges, and comic misunderstandings, all while forging a most unlikely bond between a Muppet and an adventurous traveler. So, I'm going to let Gregory. I'm going to let Gregory travel home after he wakes up, and I'm going to go into the studio. Oh, hey, Aaron, how you doing?
Chris, I've just been reading this letter from you, from the spring that fell out of the sky after a toucan landed on my shoulder. I'm so glad to see you, buddy. I've missed you. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. North Texas has had some phenomenons lately. I guess the weather changes. It brings all the toucans out in springs. How the heck are you? Well, I guess I just read how you are. Are you glad to be back?
Oh man, Gregory was cool, but he definitely didn't like it when I beat him at Candyland. So I think he had the let's get you back home vibes. So I'm back home and we're good. We're going. Is there anything about today that's like podcast worthy? Are we doing something?
I'm glad you brought that up. It's the 102nd episode of Another Great Day. And while you were gone, we celebrated our 100th. Yeah. We've had 102 episodes of Another Great Day. Can you believe that?
102. If we were that many years, we'd be old.
Well, you know what I think we should do, Chris?
What should we do?
I think you should hit that intro music. Let's start over again and do it normal like you were here the whole time.
All right. You ready?
You ready? Here we go. It's Friday, October 13th, 2023. That's right, Friday the 13th. I'm Aaron, and this is Chris.
Hello, I'm back.
He's back, and we'd like to welcome you to Another Great Day, the podcast designed to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation. Chris, we got to just say, it's nice to have you back. The people have spoken. I did hold down the fort, but it is not the same without you. So welcome back, buddy.
I do. My hand is cramping. I've never written so many letters in my life.
Well, you did excellent. They have an amazing postal service down there in the Sam Houston cave dwelling system.
I'm gonna have to get Gregory a fax machine.
Well, I think that's great. Well, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you for writing to us every day and sending such creative ways. We had a sphere show up with a hologram. We had multiple birds and mailmen deliver letters, singing telegrams and whatnot. So welcome back, buddy. And yeah, it's our 102nd episode. So I say we kick things off with exactly the same thing as normal. How about let's do some This Day in History? On this day in 1958, Paddington Bear makes his debut. The popular children's literature character first appeared in English author Michael Bond's illustrated book, A Bear Called Paddington. Paddington is a polite Peruvian spectacle bear with a special fondness for marmalade. Chris, what is marmalade for people who might not know?
I believe marmalade is a type of jam or
Thank
jelly.
you, Chris. See, this is why I need you here. I don't know things like marmalade. The success of the first book was followed by 20 more books featuring the lovable bear and a successful toy franchise.
20 books? That's more than the letters I wrote.
Yes. Yeah, he's crushing it. Do you want to hit that next, This Day in History?
Also on this day in 1792, construction of the White House begins. The office and residence of the President of the United States was designed by Irish... My document is too small to see all of it. Irish architect James Hobben. It took 8 years for it to become livable, and President John Adams became the first president to occupy the building in November 1st, 1800.
And that's one of those that's going to be on the test. So when they say, who was on, when you're on Jeopardy one of these days, kids, and they say, who was the first president to occupy the White House? Boop, 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 boop. Who is President John Adams? And you'll win Jeopardy.
And today's question of the day, what do we got here?
The question of the day is, what is your favorite thing to do on the weekend? And this would be a great time for you guys to pause the show, ask this question amongst yourselves, and maybe learn what people like to do on the weekends. You might already know. Chris, what's your favorite thing to do on the weekend?
Well, I'm going to put up two scenarios because this weekend is different. My wife and daughter are going on a camping trip with a group. It's kind of like Girl Scouts.
Yes, Heritage Girls.
And they are going away, so they're going to be doing something that my wife and I like to do. They like to go camping, which is a wonderful weekend activity, especially when it's nice weather.
Oh,
but,
yeah, weather's awesome.
I will not be doing that. I will be at home because it's basically girls only on the camping trip. And I am probably going to try to sleep spin as much as possible. And I might watch some Star Wars or something.
Maybe you can make one of those fancy basic eggs that you talked about the other day in the microwave.
Man, I'll be making up almost nothing eggs for days.
Did they have a microwave in the cave system underneath the Sam Houston statue?
They had 3 microwaves. None of them worked.
They're all broken.
So they were just boxes to put stuff in.
That's great.
And we used the glass tables as our plates to eat off of, though.
Well, that's
Gregory
nice. Very practical.
Yeah, pretty inventive. Was that the right word?
Ingenuity. He had ingenuity.
There you go. So what would you do on the weekend?
Well, I also like to sleep, but that doesn't happen too often. So my favorite thing to do is to wake up and get a nice early morning workout in. I love going to my local gym here, seeing all the people, and just enjoying some time of exercise. I listen to podcasts that I like and music that I like. I see the same 20 people every day, and it's a good opportunity to have fellowship and intentional conversations with people. So, yeah, that'd be mine. All right, and if you guys had time to answer, we'd love to hear it. We have a little feedback button on our Spotify podcast, and you can always tell us what you like to do on the weekends there. All right, well, let's go ahead and check in with today's dad joke. Take it away, Wes. Well...
Can I pause this? I cannot pause the recording.
Here we go.
Hey, what did one nut say to the other when it was chasing it? I'm gonna catch you. Have another great day.
We got it. We got it.
That's so good. Oh, thanks, Wes.
That really worked.
I gotta say, Chris, that joke was nuts.
Indeed.
All right. Well, then let's go ahead and move the show along because, it is our 102nd episode, so it's got to be something special. Let's move on to today's word of wisdom. The word of wisdom comes to us from Proverbs 24, verse 12. Chris will read the NLT. I'm going to read the AMP, and let's go.
Don't excuse yourself by saying, "Look, we didn't know." For God understands all hearts, and he sees you. He who guards your soul knows you knew. He will repay all people for their actions as their actions deserve.
Nice. Amplified says, if you claim ignorance and say, "See, we didn't know this," does he, capital He, not consider it who weighs and examines the hearts and the motives? And does he not know it who guards your life and keeps your soul? And will he not repay you and every man according to his works? Take a minute. Think about that. All right, Chris. Well, that will wrap things up for the week. Yeah, let's hit the music and call it a day. Boy, I'm sure happy to have you back. Well, I'd like to thank all of you for listening and sharing this show with your friends, neighbors, and all professional dog walkers. Our mission here on Another Great Day is to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation.
So even though today's show may have come to an end, that does not mean your discussions have to come to an end.
That's right, Chris. We thank you for listening, and we hope you make it
another
great day. That's it. That's a wrap. 102 in the books.
We did that live.
They said it couldn't be done.
I don't know who they are.
Well, they were wrong.
At some point, I need to hit the end button.
Hey, guys, what you doing? Gregory, we're recording. Yeah, I see that. Why are you talking into those fuzzy stick thingies? They're called microphones. You're ruining the show. Hey, no. Where's the bathroom? Gregory, hang on, man. Okay, here's the thing. I got drunk all the way up here. I stopped at a Buc-ee's, and now I'm in this building. And it's way bigger than the cave, and there's no Candyland anywhere. I challenge any of you to Candyland. I got a better one, Gregory. Yeah, what? I will eat more candy than you. Oh, you're on. Let's go. All right.
The end.